Can you hear me? Can you see me? Are you able to see me? I've got my sound on, and I think the webcam is now officially working. Just a quick sound check, and let me know if you can see me too, please, guys. I'd appreciate that. And then I can get on with it, because we're going to talk about perspective. We're also going to look at how I go about... good, you can hear me and you can see me. Beauty. Excellent stuff. Couple of things. First things first, I mean, it's perspective, right? I mean, I see it very, very frequently, especially in this market. I'm seeing a lot of people that are sort of talking about, Bitcoin as soon as it pops up. Oh, is this the start of the bull run? And that's all very good and proper. And I am high-fiving for the market to do the same thing. Don't get me wrong. I want to see it go higher. But in the same respect, a lot of people are setting themselves up for failure and pain. And I mean, if you look right here, you'll see on my charts, guys, I've got a 4-hour chart here and I've got a daily chart down here. These are the charts that I typically work with. Why? Well, it's just logic from my point of view. And what I mean by that is that the 4-hour is the midpoint up and down. So 4 has the 2, the 1, the 30, and the 15, and above the 8, the 12, the 16, and the daily. So it gives me a pretty good snapshot of the lower time. Well, I call the 4-hour the mid time frame, and also the daily. Now, what I see often is that people are just focusing on the really low time frames, and they're looking at this sort of stuff. And obviously, most of you will know that I'm an objective trader. I trade based on checklists. I teach based on checklists, and that's what I've been doing for more or less my entire career. And look, I didn't write these checklists for you guys. I'll be honest with you there. I didn't write these for you. I had no intention whatsoever of being an educator. Okay, not at all, none. I wrote these checklists down because the person, if you've met me in person, I'm pretty spontaneous, like to have a good time, and that doesn't really, work when you want to be a good trader. So I've had to recreate who I am, and those checklists help me to be disciplined. What it does is it allows me to go into the market knowing exactly what I'm there to do, as opposed to just jumping around and, what have we got here, buy, sell, and just basically just gambling. And I know a lot of people are doing that because I hear the stories. Oh, I've lost this and I've lost that trying to trade. Trading doesn't work. Trading does work. It's just that you've got to know what you're doing to make it work. So, of course, when we look at a chart like this, we go, oh, look at this. There's all this sort of stuff going on and we've just jumped up and wow, we could be in a bull run. But here's what perspective does. It takes us from looking at a 4-hour chart, we look at the daily chart. Now, why has it got any relevance? Well, the reason it has relevance, and by the way, ask me any questions as I go. This is as interactive as you want it to be, okay? As I look at this chart, a couple of things stand out to me. One, if you've been listening to the Trader Cobb Crypto podcast, you'll know that from about roughly around here, I think I did a video as well on the free subscriber list. Hi, everyone. And I was sort of saying at about this point that it wouldn't surprise me at all. I thought that we'd probably give back the whole move back to here because throughout this period, we were in a pretty significant downtrend, right? We'd seen lower highs and lower lows rocking on for quite a bit. We broke a level of support, and then straight after that, whooshka, China opened their mouth and it shot back up. Now, since then, nothing following through. So that was based on what we call a black swan event, something that you can't really plan for. 2 big days, bang, bang, and then all of a sudden we didn't hold. We just kept on going down. We've given it all back and some, and we're currently sitting around that region. Okay, so yeah, you can ask me questions at the end about membership, that sort of stuff, no problem. But we'll just go with trading for the start of this. So would you be looking at the 1 hour for a buy and then the entry to wait for the 4 hour to close? Well, there's a number of ways that I do it, and that's based on that checklist. So what I wanted to cover tonight is a couple of the things. Let me just get my little notebook because I wrote them down. A couple of things that I want to introduce you to around structure. As I say, I'm a trader that follows rules. There are no grey areas in my eyes. There are literally rules to follow and stick to, and that is that. It takes that thinking away. I've got in front of me that says, "Don't think." Now that might seem like a weird concept, but I don't think. I trade what I see, and when I make a mistake, it's because I have thought something, and there's no place for thinking as a trader. We do. We don't act like we act upon what we see based on probabilities. Now, as we broke down through here, what have we got? Well, we saw a very nice run down lower. If I come back again and throw this 1 hour up and just show you the noise, this is all noise. Not very nice, not very nice, very, very noisy. Pops up she goes, pulling back all over the shop. Then you look at the daily, when people are saying, oh, we might be bullish now, we might be bullish. In my eyes, a pullback has always been on the cards. Why? Well, you've heard me say it many times before, I am sure. When there are large candles, when the candles start to get big, we often do see a pullback. Case in point here, big candles, we saw a pullback, okay? Up here, big candles, look how big and messy this got, we saw a pullback. Over here, really big candles start to come in, and we've seen a pullback. So I was not, this pullback up here is to be expected as far as I'm concerned. And it could go higher into 78 or even higher into 8. What I'm looking at now, though, is where price is. It's come back into that cradle zone. Now let's have a look at how that works. In an uptrend, that cradle zone works. Pulls back in, moves, in, moves, in, moves, in, moves. We've seen it time and time again. And look, I'm more than happy for you to challenge that. Go to any market, find a trending period, throw on your 10 and 20, see how it works. It's a fact. It's not there's no hocus pocus here. Look how clear my charts are. I don't use sloping trend lines. There's a lot of stuff that I do not use. I've been doing this for 14 years now. It's actually my 14th year birthday because I started in November. Back in 2005, I think it was. Yeah, that makes 14. And, it's pulled back into this region. So that perspective, going from, say, whether you're looking at the 1 hour to take your trade or the 15-minute, or I don't tend to go lower than the 15-minute. I think that the fees are too high and the ability for you not to get the right fill and to get a bit of slippage is also too high. If you jump out to the daily, you can actually get the perspective that in actual fact, we're in a strong downtrend. We're just pulling back into those moving averages and potentially getting ready for another leg down. Now, that's not going to be a very popular thing for me to say, of course. People don't want to hear that the market's going to go down, and I'm not suggesting that it will. I'm playing a probability on trend. Now, let me jump out from the daily to the weekly. Have a look at this. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is the definition of a downtrend. Okay, this is a definition of a downtrend. It's as simple as that. There's nothing more complicated. It just is what it is. All right. Now, of course, the moving averages are now in the correct order, which is the 10 beneath the 20. So when I go through the market, okay, I'm looking to stack probabilities in my favor. So I'm going to throw the 4 hour up here, and I'm going to show you. Well, if you've got a really big position, the fees can be, with a really tight stop loss, the fees can actually be a little bit more, or a bit more. So a wider stop, the fees can be absorbed a little bit easier, I've found. Now, if I look at this here and go through this top 10 with you real quick, what I'm looking for is trend agreement, okay? Again, downtrend, well, what have we got here? Ethereum. What I'm looking to see is there a trend? Number one. Are the moving averages in the correct order? Number two, all right? And do we have convergence of the MACD? Now, MACD actually stands for Moving Average Convergence and Divergence. So let me show you what divergence looks like here. As price has made a new lower low, see how this low is obviously lower than this low. Notice how the MACD has not. The MACD's made a higher low, all right? So with that being the case, I don't want to be looking for shorts in that. Now, it's not to tell me, it's not to say that it's not going to go lower based on any time frame you're looking at. So based right now on the 4 hour, that was divergent. On the 8 hour, well, it wasn't divergent because this low to this low, they were more or less, it was lower. So it's about understanding the time frame you're looking at. So that's why I've got so many time frames. I'll move from the 4 and go, not interested. I'll go to the 2 and go, maybe. Okay. So yeah, Adam said position size is related to stop loss position. Thus, lower time frame generally means a tighter stop and a larger position. Thus, fees, since these are a percentage of your position, are higher. So it's a bigger position because it's based off your stop loss. If you're managing your risk at say 1% per trade, let's say you got a $10,000 account for argument's sake. Okay. You're risking $100 per trade. So you've got to understand that you're risking a small amount of the account. Why? Because you're going to take time to learn this, and we've got to wear a helmet when we ride our bikes. All right. Looking at the 2-hour time frame here, we have a look at this. These highs through here, we've got convergence. As price is making new highs, so too is the MACD. That's convergence. Now, ultimately, I want to see multiple time frame trends and in agreement, and multiple time frames with convergence, and multiple time frames with our moving averages in the correct order. Okay, they're the first things that I look for when I'm doing a scan. And if you're not seeing me do a full scan, or you're not on live trading floor or anything like that, this, you'll already know this if you have been in there. So looking at this now, let me add some factors in. 2 tests, 1, 2. That's enough for support, not to trade through. All right. One of the rules that I've got is that 2 tests is support or resistance. Right now, broken down, we're finding resistance at that level. Okay. Hop now across to the 2-day. Well, we are actually on that low to that low. We're converging, but it doesn't look very good on this chart. The market does look a little bit confused, and we are overextended there from those moving averages. The weekly, however, is clearly in a downtrend. This is Ethereum against the dollar. Okay? So let me show you what I'm looking for. I'll go to my 150 list here. I'm just going to skip through a couple. I'm trying to find where they match up together, where the time frames are in agreement as in trend. And it's nice. So I'm just skipping through because there are no nice trends here. And there's a nice trend here on Stellar against Bitcoin. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Problem is the daily hasn't broken to a lower low. The other thing is you can't really, shorting Stellar. This list is really for uptrends. Okay, here we go. Leo. Fetch. Yeah, actually, you know what's probably easier if I just go to my actual watch list. Oh, looks like I've been filled. So for me, here's one I prepared earlier. Here's one that I've just been filled long in. All right, Thierry Henry, or if you know Arsenal, you'll know that. If you know football, you'll know that. So looking at the daily here, high, higher low, higher high, uptrend. Tick that box. Moving averages in the correct order, 10 above the 20. Tick that box. The MACD down here, as price has made a new higher high, so too has the MACD from this high to this high. MACD is making higher highs. It's following the price. And I note how I say following the price, because price comes first. Indicators do not dictate what price does. Price dictates what indicators do. They're all lagging, all of them. That's why I never you'll never see me take a trade because an indicator told me to get out or to get in. Ever, no way. It just doesn't work that way for me. So now I know I've got the daily in an uptrend with the moving averages in the correct order and convergence. Trend, moving averages, convergence. Now I'm going to add in multiple time frames. So I go from the daily, chop it in half, 12-hour. Okay? Now, higher low, higher high. Beautiful. Now we've got a bullish candle in that zone there. This is what I call a cradle trade. And to be fair, it's a pretty big candle. I'll give you that. If for those that are sitting here going, oh, this is a big candle to me. Yes, I did assess that. Yes, I did comment on that. Yes, I did put that out in the community. And yes, I did a video post on that, allowing everybody to understand why I was still happy to be taking this. As you can see, it has had a big move. I've got now the 12-hour in an uptrend, higher low, higher high. Moving averages in the correct order. And if you know, if I just jump down to the 8-hour now, it makes it a bit clearer for the convergence. We're looking at this high to this high. This high to this high, this high to this high. We're convergent once again. So again, we're simply going through a list of items. I'm not looking at a chart trying to work out, is there a trade? No. I'm going through individual ingredients to help you to understand what will help me to understand whether there's a trade there or not. Now, if I get through all of my essential rules and tick all the boxes, then I raise the order. And I did that today with Tyrion. Or I don't know how you say that goddamn word. It reminds me of the little guy in Game of Thrones. Does that remind you of that? It does for me. So very simple ways of monitoring the market. Very simple ways to find what you're looking for, because let me show you what I scan every day. These are the margin pairs. And look, I have to get this. I have to look at other platforms because the Bitfinex volume has become almost non-existent. They really have dried up. But I'll scan all of these. Tyrion. I don't know. Someone's going to say it. I can't. When it's written, I can't. I can't say it. So I'll scan all of these. These are all my margin pairs. Then I'll go ahead and I'll also scan the 150. Now these all need to be in uptrends, right? And you'll see I just put these little stars, the little flag next to it. And as I go through all these, I'm looking to see, has it met that criteria? Multiple time frame agreement, moving averages in the correct order, convergence on multiple time frames. If I'm ticking these boxes, I know that it can then go into the list. Once it gets into this list, it's then just a matter of what sort of trading strategy will it be. For example, this one got close, Ardor, it was actually the daily time frame. I like this. I was liking this until it didn't give me exactly what I wanted. I wanted to see a third test. I wanted to see another touch here to catch that breakout. Now, I got very close. Of course, it didn't happen. Now, some you won't get it, okay? Some you just won't get. It's not missing a trade if it didn't set up. What I've got it in the list for now, as you can see, is I'm looking for a pullback. Much the same as what happened here. Beautiful pullback into the cradle zone, small bullish candle, moving averages in the correct order. We've got convergence, go to the 2, to the 4, again, trend in the correct order, moving averages in the correct order, convergence of the indicator, which is the MACD. We're looking at layering things, layering and layering and layering. Now, it's not complicated because it's broken down into a checklist. And that's why I can say it's not complicated, because you have your checklist right here with a bit of, what's it called? When you lacquer your kids' books or whatever, you laminate it so you can tick it off, all right? It's not a difficult way to trade. It's the way that I've traded for the last at least 10 years, and it works. Again, I'll take you through Matic. Here's another one. Broke out through this level, and what a move it's had. Again, it's still on the list because I'm waiting for things like this. Pullbacks, okay? Yeah, it's not missing a trade if it didn't set up. If it just did not set up at all, then you're not missing anything. The other thing as well to consider is that if you're asleep, you're not missing anything because you need to sleep. Sleep is the best thing in the entire world, bar nothing. I'm even talking fishing. The best thing about sleep is when you wake up to go fishing. But sleep is the best thing in the world. I've got 2 young kids, so you probably tell. So I'm waiting for a pullback again. So once you've got the confluence of events, okay, once you've got the confluence, the moving averages in the correct order, the MACD convergent multiple time frames, trend on multiple time frames, then it's just a matter of, am I waiting for a crypto cradle trade to set up? Am I waiting for a breakout trade to set up? Or am I waiting for a booster trade to set up? Then that's all it is. Once you understand those critical elements, throw them in your watch list and wait for the opportunity. A couple of questions. For a bullish trend, do you want to make higher highs and lower lows? You want higher highs and higher lows. So higher high, higher low, higher high. So you want it to be, picture it like this, like steps. Walking up steps for an uptrend, walking down steps for a downtrend. A lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. That's what you're looking for a trend. So they're either an uptrend or it's a downtrend, okay? But like I say, it's once you've got that confluence of events, it's a matter of waiting for the opportunity. So once I've done my scan for the day, by the way, not often do I go back and do another one, unless the market dynamic changes, something happens, we hit a new high, in that trend, or a new low in that trend. That's when I'll do another scan to see what else is out there. Another one that's on the list right now is Ravencoin. This is a reverse break. Support running through here. We've got on these lows from here to here, low to low, we're divergent. Okay. Now we can see some resistance here. It's not actually the daily that I'm loving this. Let me show you what I do like. It's probably the 8 that I don't mind it. Now a little bit of volume lacking perhaps. I have to look at that in the order book to see if I actually have to go and have a look at the order book here to see if I got filled there, because that's a bit thin as well. So you can see here, 1, 2, I'm looking for this to move up to a third test of resistance. If I can get up and hit this again, the candle closes, this will then be a higher low. Higher low, higher low. If it breaks the resistance, I'll have a higher low and a higher high. Now I know that for you guys, I know I'm covering quite a bit here. I know there'll be some things that are very new to you. I understand that. Watch it through again if you need to. This is the sort of stuff that I teach, and there's whole sections on trend. So it's not something that I can just click your fingers and there you go, there's everything, you've got it all. But I'm trying to help you to understand the process that we go through to make our decisions. Decisions are what traders need to make. Well, when you've got a checklist, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. So fetch in here waiting for that. Again, I call it stalking. It's in my watch list. I'll keep an eye on that. Fetch AI, again. Cheers, Jimmy. Higher low, higher high. Once again, pulling back into that cradle zone is what I'm waiting for. Now, would I trade that on lower time frames? Yes, I would. Again, look, pulls back in, moves away. Pulls back in, moves away. We're trying to capture not the low, not the high. We're trying to capture the chunk in the middle. Okay, then we're going to be using things to slowly, we're going to be using the chart to trail our stop losses. Why? Because that's a rule. Everything has got to have a rule, and that's why I've got a rules-based trading education business, really. Let's have a look at Monero here again, just to reiterate what I've been saying. So we're looking at the 4 hour here, higher low, higher high, higher low, sorry, higher low, higher high, higher low potential. Let's look at the 2 hour. Now look at this. Look at that for an absolute beauty. Trend, higher low, higher high, moving averages in the correct order. Convergence of the indicator as as price makes a higher high. MACD down here is making a higher high as well. Okay. Pull back into that cradle zone. Multiple time frame analysis. Is the 4 hour agreeing at that point? Higher low, higher high. Moving averages fanning. It is in agreement. There's our 2 time frames. Beautiful bullish candle. In we go. Wacko, and we are happy. Trading is not difficult. It certainly isn't easy, by the way. I'm not suggesting that this stuff is easy. The application is very, very simple. The hard bit's your head. It's keeping yourself switched in and switched on and make sure that you're in a good state. That's why I won't trade when I travel. I'm in an unfamiliar environment here. This is my trading zone. You know, I'm here by myself. I've got a decent office, my 4 screens, great internet. This is what I want. Sealy, or however you say that, seems to be stuck. I don't know what's going on there, so I'll go past that. Tierion, I told you about. And finally, ENG, another one here. Check this out, by the way. Now, I didn't take these. I was a bit groggy at the time, as in jet lagged. Pull back, cradle, bam. Pull back, beautiful, bam. This stuff works. What do you think I'm waiting for? A pullback into that cradle zone. Would you see an inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin on BitMEX? I don't have names for things. That's another way I simplify things. If you're talking about a double bottom, a head and shoulders, double bottom, triple bottom, all they are is a change of trend. I focus on the logic behind price action, why we're seeing what we're seeing, and what it actually means, as opposed to giving things names. Why? Well, I guess chart patterns are kind of like, the understanding behind what it is more important than the name. I've named my 3 strategies. They're my kids. You don't need to remember the names of all your mates' kids, do you? You got to remember the name of your own kids. For me, what this says is higher low, higher high. What's that mean? Uptrend. That's on the 8 hour. But don't forget, we need perspective. 8 hours in an uptrend, daily and weekly are in a downtrend. So when we have these trends that are not they're contradicting each other. That's what the rules are there for, to work out what you can and can't work with. Most important thing I've learned from you is be patient. Couldn't agree more. I'd be learning on Coinbase Pro. No idea what their education is like. But yeah, I mean, end of the day is this: if you want to trade properly, you are going to have to get someone that can help you. Whether that be me or someone else, that's fine. I don't really mind. I would like it to be me. I do know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 14 years, and you can have a look at the website with some of the companies I've worked with. You know, ICE, New York Stock Exchange, TradeStation, IG, CMC, HSBC for a little while, Oanda, TradeStation, RGO Futures. This is the sort of stuff that I've done with them, is talking to the markets as well as trading the markets, obviously. Enigma ETH, ENG. Have a quick look here. That's a very strong trend as well. Daily moves to 12. Yeah, beautiful. Again, same sort of thing here. And whether it doesn't matter. Oh, look at that, doozy, absolute doozy. Doesn't matter whether you're trading to collect Sats, dollars, Ethereum. Doesn't really matter. Okay, doesn't really matter at all. But yeah, it's about like understanding that you're going to need some help. I mean, think about this: if you're going to be a lawyer, well, you've got to go to uni and do your law degree. Just because you finish your law degree doesn't mean you're going to be a partner. You've got to put the work in. I have got the pathway to help you to get there if this makes sense. If you watch through my YouTube content, if you watch through some of the stuff that I've done, if it makes sense, then perhaps I can work with you and help you. If not, you know, one thing that we do have that I'm very proud of is a 10-day money-back guarantee. We are willing to put our money where our mouth is, and back ourselves that you're going to love it. It's good stuff. It works well. Okay, so question: do these fundamentals work? Well, this is technical stuff. Do they work in FX markets? Now, it would be irresponsible of me to say yes. I have not got an AFSL, an Australian Financial Services license, and we need one here in Australia to discuss traditional, markets. So, one thing I will say is that I've come from traditional trading background and I've applied it to crypto. I'll leave it at that. You just want to find trends. You need to find trends. Now, I've made a bunch of amendments to the course, not the strategy. So for those of you who have already done the courses, then get ready. I'm hoping my voice, you can hear it's still a little bit croaky from all that I've been doing. For me, it's going to be next week. I'll get 2 days off for the first time in a long time on the weekend. And hopefully on Monday my voice is all right. And I'm going to actually get into re-recording the course. So the entire bronze, silver, gold, that chunk of education with the 3 full trading strategies, all the checklists, all your education fundamentals in terms of fundamentals for trading, your psychology, your trading plans, all of that's going to be covered. There'll be additional areas of content as well that will be created that you won't have seen yet. And that will come out throughout December. So you'll have something to look at for those that are already members through your Christmas break to redo it. It won't be as long either because we won't be doing individual courses. It'll be a singular course with chapters as it is at the moment, but we'll have a lot less to go through. So there's a lot that we're doing. And one of the things that we are doing right now is, everyone's doing a Black Friday sale. All right. So are we. We've jumped on the bandwagon. Kind of have to, right? 40% off. Anything that you want to purchase on the website. So that could be from the diamond all the way to the bronze. Any subscriptions for the annual subscription type stuff. The only thing we're not doing is for mentoring. For any of you who have been to the live courses, we're offering, I think it's 10% discount on that. And the code is, what is it? I've lost my page. Take 40. So CAPS, TAKE 40. This will be live until Monday. All right, so we're doing a Black Friday to Monday weekend sale offer. So that's what we're doing at the moment. So if you're considering learning to trade, you've got the holidays coming up, you may as well learn to make money whether the market goes up or down. What am I doing right now with Bitcoin? I'm stalking this right now for a potential short. If I get a small bearish candle like that tomorrow, I'll be sticking to the rules and there's a likelihood I would get short if it fits that. couple of questions. Craig, I've done the bronze course and I'm still lost about setting up entry and stop loss and putting stop losses. Then Matthew, you need to log back in because we've got in there 4 new videos now, which is showing you exactly how to use different exchanges. Binance, Bitfinex, and BitMEX, as well as recently FTX has gone up, and how to use 3Commas. So it's all right there. There's a risk calculator as well, so you can manage your risk. You get access to that. There's a 3-part video series there from Matthew Harvey, taking you through exactly how to manage your risk on the trade, so you can manage the risk, you can know your entries, you can know your stop losses, you can know what you're set to make, you can know what you're set to lose, you can know what to order types for each different trade. We are constantly building and building and building that community and the back end to make it much, much easier. They're lifetime memberships, by the way. So if life gets in the way, if you've got a holiday coming up, no problem. Come back and do it when you're ready. Will we be getting a license in the near future? We're looking at that. We are definitely in the midst of going through that at the moment, looking at the logistics of that. Naturally, I mean, there's more markets than just crypto. Crypto is my favorite at the moment because it moves a lot. But there's a lot of other avenues that we can look at as well and open up what we do across different markets. Yep, go to the journey of the questions. And the mentors or legends said, Adam Felsman, the mentor. Yes, they are. They're bloody good. I'm interested in trading Qtum, has solid volume. Yeah, it's just not had a good trend. It just hasn't had a very good trend. The question, how much money do you need to start? It's up to you. My mentor at the time, when I had this dude I had him for about, was it 7 years or something, I think it was. He said, look, if you can't make money on a $2,000 account, then you can't make money on a $200 million account. And he's quite right. When you start trading, you should, let me tell you from my experience, guys, I've made more mistakes than I hope any of you have to make. And I've made the same mistake over and over and over and over. I've blown out 3 accounts when I first started trading. Before I really realized that I needed some help. That's why I'm telling you, you are going to need it. I was going to YouTube, I was getting little snippets, I was going to seminars, I was going on webinars, I was going, I'll take a little bit of that, and I would mix it all together. This is like going into a professional kitchen. The chef says, I want 10 souffles, Craig, in the next hour. I've never eaten a souffle, seen a souffle, or have the recipe for a souffle. I've got no idea what the hell he's talking about. So I walk into the 5,000 ingredients within this pantry and I grab out all the exact right ingredients, put it in the exact right order, and it goes in the oven for the exact amount of time. And hey, there's your 10. Likelihood of that occurring, nil. Okay? So it's about the process. Whenever I started to think about trying to make money, this happened in January of 2008 or 9. It was after the GFC, the market was starting to recover, so it must have been 09. I'd had a roaring year, and I thought to myself, well, I want to make more money. So I went from risking 1% to 3%. January, you can guess what happened. It took me till April to get that money back. When you try and make money, you often don't. When you focus on flawlessly executing a strategy that gives you an edge, that's when you make money. Don't think about making money. Focus on what it is you need to do, all right? That's what you've got to do. Be in that moment. When you're driving your car, you don't just think about point A and point B, shut your eyes and get there. You take all the little steps that you've got to do, changing gears, indicating left and right, stopping for red lights, trying not to hit kids on the street, and then you get there. There's a sequence of events that needs to occur for you to get to your outcome. And the sequence of events that need to occur for you is to get some structure, to get some strategy, to be patient, and to fall in love with that process. Yep, good to see you, Dave. Your stalking list is it's great. Look, I'm going to still be doing the VIP scans through that period. So I'll still be scanning. It'll just be the holiday dates that I won't be there for live trading floor and whatnot. When are you putting the new schedule out for classroom training? I will have that up by the end of the year. So I'm looking to record it next week. I want to have it done by the end of next week. That's voice dependent. I've got to get my voice to a spot where I can project do what I've got to do with it, right? Because I don't want to record it again. Well, not for a few more years. We've taken the feedback that we've got through our amazing community, listening to you guys and girls out there as well, and we have made some changes to make it a bit easier. The members area, like I said, videos on how to open trades. There's videos on risk management. There's videos in there on the journey of the apprentice. There's my mistake videos. There's a huge amount of content in there that you can just keep chipping away at. But the courses will be up by the end of the year. So if you want to get them, you're probably best off getting them now because you get 40% off and you'll have access to them by the end of the month anyway. They're already there right now, but the newer version will be out by the end of December. Thank you very much, Vivian. I appreciate that very much. I really, really do. Thank you so much for your faith. How many people do you usually have during live trading sessions? It actually depends a lot on the market. So when I'm looking at this, when I'm doing it's not live trading as such, it's a live scan. We range between up to 30, 40 people. It's not a huge amount of people. We've got the capacity for more, but it's the idea behind live trading floor and whatnot is it's more so that I want you to do the scan first, right? I want you to create. Oh, I'm pointing at the screen. I want you to create this watch list. Then I want you to go through. Then I want you to follow me through it. And what you want to be doing is you want to be trying to get your watch list as close to mine as possible. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. I'm not trying to make mini-me's here. It's to guide you and for you to feel confident enough to go, I don't need to do this anymore. And my business model is not to have members for life. It's not. It's to empower you to make your own decisions. You take control back of what you want to do and off you go. You're a happy client, stoked. That's what I want. It's not to have people there. I don't do a tipping service. I'll show you what I'm up to. I'll show you my watch list. There's a lot of things I will do, but I won't tell you what you need to do. It's the last thing I'll do. It's not about that. That makes you dependent on me. I want you to, fly off. I really, really do, and many have. I bought Bitcoin when it dropped to 6,500. Nice. 910. No. Just upgrade to silver from bronze today. Nice, Addison. That'll get you access to a lot of the videos and whatnot, so you can get stuck in there. All right, guys. Well, look. Unless there's any other questions, again, get a pen. I gotta get a pen and write the bloody thing down. What is it? Take 40. So get a pen in your hand. TAKE 40 in caps. That is your 40% discount for anything at all on the site. Now we are limiting it to the first 30. Okay, the first 30 on each of the packages, or basically bronze and whatnot. We'll go from there. So yeah, don't make a decision. If you can't make a decision, that's fine. You probably shouldn't be trading anyway. You've got to basically be decisive. You can, and yes, you can start. You can start with the code now. It's up. It's ready. Tomorrow's Friday. We're ahead of the curve. Wanted to make sure that you guys were there. The code is Take 40. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this. Hang on. Pull that. There you go. I think you can see all that. Is that right? Take 40. Is it like a band? Is there a band, or is that? Do they sing Red? I don't know. E17 maybe. I don't know. I'm rambling now. So again, don't forget multiple trend analysis. All right, multiple trends with the moving averages in the correct order. Multiple trends with your convergence of your MACD, and then it's just a matter of, is it a Bitcoin breakout? Is it a crypto cradle? Is it a Fibonacci booster? You work through your checklists, you work out what it is, then you raise your order. Trading is not stressful if that's the way you do it. UB40, that was the one, Dave. Well done, thank you. Take 40 is the code, UB40 is the band, and it was red wine. All right. With that note, ladies and gentlemen, get across to tradercobb.com. Use Take 40. It's got to be in caps. If you have any questions, there is a little chat box there available. Let your friends, let your family know. If it gets to Christmas time and they're wondering what they want to do about cryptocurrency, we've got free course there as well that really opens up the opportunity for what this space has to offer. Do I think we'll see a pump on the expiry date of the CME futures? No, I don't think. I just trade what I see. The expiry dates don't tend to do anything in any other market, so I wouldn't understand why it would in this particular market. And I've stood by saying that for quite some time. Anyway, guys, have a cracker. If I don't speak to you, well, I'm definitely going to speak to you before Christmas. But yeah, take advantage of what we're offering at the moment. And you guys have a good evening. I'm starving. Catch you later. Bye for now.